Hey, how you doing? Consulted by G family. We got another inspirational, motivational, and inspiring video for you on young entrepreneurs out there. Young entrepreneurs, sorry, got a little tongue tied. But let's get into the 15 Rules of Money by Jordan Welch. Shout out to him for the video. Let's go ahead and react to it and see what's going on. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also follow me on Instagram, GuaboyG, and Twitter, GuaboyG. Let's do it.
In the game, you have to understand the rules.
Factual. Factual.
The rich know the rules. The poor don't even realize they're playing. At any given moment, you're either playing or getting played. You're either a producer or a consumer, a buyer or a seller. But thankfully, once you understand these rules, you get to decide which team that you want to be on. I grew up on the wrong team. We lived paycheck to paycheck and had mountains of debt. And I grew up poor as a result of that. Once I was in high school, I started studying millionaires, trying to understand the game of money because I wanted to get rich. I wanted to live the good life and take care of my family. I didn't want them to stress about money anymore. Today, I've made over $10 million at 27 years old. And the first big shift I had was when I learned about this game and discovered that it's rigged against me. That's when I started to relentlessly study these rules. And not long after that, I started winning. I first knew I wanted to get rich when I watched my mom grinding every single day, working 8-hour shifts just to barely make ends meet. She worked harder than anybody I knew, but we were still broke. And that's when it hit me. Having a job will never make you rich.
No, having a job will never make you rich, but what you do with the money from that job can make you rich. Just to throw a little caveat in there, because yeah, you can work at UPS and you can only make $50,000 a year, and that's never going to make you rich. But you can allocate your money in different places and start different businesses and do different things to make money. So it's all about the hustle and flow. It's all about sneaking smarter and not trying to reinvent the wheel, doing what's working for other people already.
Nothing wrong with having a job to make some money, but it'll never set you free. If someone else controls your paycheck, they control your life. Because at any given moment, your boss can decide if you stop getting paid, which means you're always gonna be one step away from losing everything.
Especially if you make the biggest mistake of them all, getting in debt. If you're broke, avoid debt at all costs, because debt is the modern day version of slavery. The average 18-year-old American starts their life drowning in debt. They get tens of thousands of dollars in student loans, they get a car payment that they can't even afford, and they get a credit card to pay for just about everything else. And just like that, they're trapped for life. Debt is the greatest dream killer in America because it's impossible to invest in yourself when every penny you make goes straight back into paying the system.
This is true.
And trust me, I would know. Just a couple years ago, I had over $30,000 in debt. So every dollar that my business made went straight back into paying off my credit cards and my card note that I didn't even really want. But I didn't get out of debt by saving my way there. If you're watching this video and you're in debt, here's what I want you to do. Cut up your credit cards and start focusing on making more money, because you will never save your way to getting rich.
This is 100% true. You definitely got to make more money to allocate to the debt that you have and the expenses that you have already. Because let's say I'm making $5,000 a month, right? And my expenses are $4,000 a month. There's no way I'm going to save my way into making more money. It will save my way into being able to effortlessly play that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to have to make more money. The only way out of the issue is to make more money. A lot of people don't want to accept that, but that's the key to success, literally making more money.
Look, man, you can clip coupons, skip lattes, and drive a cheap car for your whole life and still never get rich. My secret is that I always focused on earning more and not penny pinching my way to my first million. And once I made this shift, it happened way faster. For you to save your way to $1 million, it's gonna take you 40 or 50 years.
If that.
Which means by the time you get there, $1 million is not even gonna be worth the same, and you'll almost be too old to truly enjoy it. Think of it like basketball. If you're always playing defense, you're never gonna score any points. I got rich once I started focusing on making more and not always trying to cut back. In fact, for me, it's been easier to earn more than it's been to spend less. So if you wanna make more money, the first thing that you gotta realize is that your time is priceless. This idea that time is money is one of the biggest lies you were ever sold.
Factual.
The truth is, time is not money.
No, it's not.
The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is how they look at time. Most people spend their entire lives trading time for money, whereas rich people use money to buy back their time. They do this by building businesses, investing in assets, and creating systems that generate them money even while they're sleeping.
And you also have to build a team because you can save time by spending more money just by putting people in position, by delegating people to positions that you need help with. For example, if I got 6 courses that I'm running with 5 different group chats, it's impossible for me to run 5 different group chats, but I can have one person run 3, one person run the other 2, and make videos for the final one, and so making it 6. And you can make a lot more money that way and save a lot more time by delegating tasks to different people. But at the same time, you also want to make sure that you're just being as productive as possible with your time, which means making businesses that are gonna, I'm not gonna say that are gonna be automated, but have little to no work. For example, if I'm gonna be doing YouTube shorts and I can use the AI that's gonna help me do that, why would I not use the AI?
Once I found out that this was a reality, I dedicated my entire life to figuring it out for myself. And these days, my businesses generate thousands of dollars a day, whether I decide to work or not. I realized from a very early age that if my income stops when I stop working, I'll be trapped for the rest of my life. Just remember, you can always make more money, but you can never get more time. And these days, money is everywhere.
Most people live their life in scarcity, thinking there's not a lot of money out there. You want to know the truth? Every single day, the United States is printing $540 million of new money. That's hundreds of billions of dollars going into circulation every year. All you got to do is figure out how to get a piece of it. We are living in one of the greatest wealth booms in history. People from all over the world are becoming multi-millionaires from their laptops. So if you want to be one of them, you have 2 choices. You can keep chasing money, trading your time for money just like everyone else, or you can position yourself where the money is flowing.
Factual. This is true.
The rich don't chase trends, they get ahead of them. They're always trying to figure out where the world is moving next, and because of it, they profit heavily. Just look at history. The people who went all in on the internet back in the 2000s became billionaires. The kids who positioned themselves in crypto before Bitcoin hit its all-time high made generational wealth.
Facts.
In the beginning, they looked like idiots. In the end, they were geniuses. And not to gas myself up or anything, but this has been the reason why I've been successful in my life.
But it also boils down to taking risks, because if you don't take risks, you're never going to get anywhere. So sometimes you might have to buy certain things to boost your status or elevate you, or you might have to buy certain things or pay for certain courses or pay for certain services so you can make your life easier and make content faster. There's certain things that you got to do and sacrifice. So don't feel afraid to take that risk, because on the other side of that risk, there is reward. Without risk, you will not get reward. So you definitely got to make sure you're taking calculated gambles so you can make more money. That's
my first dropshipping.
But that doesn't mean like sports betting and stuff like that. That means, okay, let me try invest. If I get $100 today, let me try investing 50 of that and then saving another 25. Well, let me try saving 50, saving 25, or saving 50, investing 25, and then having the other 25 as my play around money.
Store before pretty much anybody I know back in 2017. I started this YouTube channel that same year, and I started buying crypto all the way back when Bitcoin was less than $20,000. Been doing this a long time, and I've always tried to see where the world is heading next. And because of it, I've made some pretty good money. And if you look around today, the next big plays are obvious. AI, e-commerce, personal branding. These are the industries that the richest people in the world are putting all their attention on. Therefore, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to position yourself where all the smart people are going.
This is true.
And to truly capitalize on this, you've got to start learning more. The one thing that all the world's multimillionaires have in common is that they are students of the game and constantly learning new information that is making them sharper at their craft. Because at the end of the day, your bank account is just a reflection of the knowledge you have in your head. Knowledge is power. This is a lesson that my mom has been ingraining in me since I was a little kid. And since I was 16, 17 years old, I have been on this journey of consuming as much information as I possibly can. But not the traditional information specific to the things that I wanted to master in my life. I studied business, sales, marketing, human psychology, persuasion, and most importantly, money. And you know what I found out? Success leaves clues. The secrets that the rich have been using for generations are right in front of you in books, interviews, and of course, YouTube videos. But the biggest mistake that you're making is just getting the knowledge. You have to turn that knowledge into dollars by learning a skill, because skills pay the bills.
This is true.
The
You gotta have
fastest way
skills to
make
be
your first
something that
couple thousand without
offers
having
value.
a job is not by starting a business. It's by selling a high value skill. And I know you probably heard this before, but you're still not doing it. Sales, car detailing, window washing, gutter cleaning, video editing. The options are endless, but you're still not doing any of them. Your goal should be to stack up your first $10,000 as fast as humanly possible. And the best way to do this is by selling a skill. That first 10K is way more important than your first million. In my case, it took me 4 years to get to that $10,000 mark. But just 6 months after, I scaled my business past $100,000 a month. Once you hit that first 10K, it gives you the startup capital you need to start something real and is that inflection point where everything begins to take off in your life. At least it was for me.
This is 100% true, by the way, because once you get that first 10,000, you get your first taste of real money, quote unquote, then you'll be able to make better financial decisions, but you also have the capital to invest in things that you need to and actually grow your brand. So that was a very important tip, but it was a lot of useful tips throughout this entire video. And I want to say, I'm going to start reacting to Jordan Welch content a lot more because he has a lot of useful information in here for you guys and girls. So you have to take advantage of it because there's not a lot of creators like him that's giving away free game and being honest and very transparent in these videos. So I want to say I appreciate Jordan Welch, but you already know, as usual, if you got any more questions or issues, please hit me in the Discord, or actually I do have a Discord. I'm not sure if the link is in the description. I'll put there for my next video, but don't forget to DM me on Instagram, guaboyg, on Twitter, guaboyg, or just follow me on any of the platforms that I have below right here. But thank you for tuning in. I'll definitely be getting to you with the next video.